Okay, so here we go. Today's edition of Eye on the Community. We start with the global community, of which we are, of course, are a part. Time magazine releasing their top 100 philanthropy list. I said it. Of course, Rihanna is on there through her Clara Lionel Foundation, which has channeled over $100 million across climate resilience, women's entrepreneurship, arts and culture, education and healthcare here in the Caribbean and in the US and East Africa. She's also forged partnerships with Twitter co-founder Jack Dorsey and with Jay-Z's Sean Carter Foundation. Now set up by Rihanna to honor the memory of her parents, the Clara Lionel Foundation's first act was to equip the hospital where her grandmother was treated with its first modern radiotherapy machine. Disaster response and crisis preparation are also a part of their mandate and saw the foundation giving away $33 million in 1 year, that's during the COVID pandemic, and also financing the installation of solar power and strengthening the physical infrastructure of health clinics across the Caribbean. Now, after Hurricane Melissa devastated Jamaica, displacing close to 300,000 people and severely impacting 5 hospitals, the foundation launched a fund to support rebuilding there, focusing on health, water, and of course, access to education. Now, later on, in our good news today, we are going to be telling you about the work of one of the local beneficiaries of the foundation. Stay with us here. Moving on to another one. I asked you guys earlier if you remember what it felt like to be 17, if you remember, you know, the freshness of life at 17. We're sharing some information now on the Noijoy fundraiser. It is a weeks-old venture. In case you haven't heard that name, Noi, I don't know, but it's a weeks-old venture which seeks to bring 17-year-old Noi Jemmot back home to Barbados healthy and strong. Now, Noi Jemmot pursuing a first degree in building and civil engineering, and she's also a Warren's Club volleyballer. A few weeks ago, Noi, the daughter of Jansen Jemmot and Kathy Ann Allman, she went from a regular day in school with a slight headache and a moment of dizziness on April 23rd to a blood test and diagnosis of acute leukemia and urgent admission to a hospital bed by the next day. Now, it seems that this particular leukemia is particularly aggressive and local care would not have been enough. So young Noi's parents were instructed that she urgently needed specialized intensive treatment available in Colombia. The doctors were very clear. Get Noi to the treatment facility by May 8th, $135,000 to start the first month of therapy and $36,000 for specialized air ambulance services because commercial flying would be out in her situation. What would you have done? Well, it makes sense that Noi would have inherited that positive chin to the future spirit from somewhere, so the fight began here and abroad. GoFundMe, GoFund Noi. If you're like some of us who kind of like barely scraping through financially, just remember, prayer does work to remember your grandmother's words. There is power in a passionate heart and a positive and intentional thought. And I know right now I sound like I'm talking foolishness, but let me give you some facts. So these people needed $400,000 to get this little girl's treatment started. And y'all did it. Y'all got them halfway there at least, and if not further, because the treatment has started. And Noi's mommy is currently in Colombia with her, of course, making sure that everything goes well. But I'll tell you something, very, very proud of Barbados right now, very proud of humanity right now, because you did it. Real thing. The only thing is, just remember, it is 3 months of treatment that are required by Noi in order to get her whole and healthy and have a fighting chance again. 3 months at $135,000 each. So get to praying if that's all you have to offer. That is the widow's mite, and we're very grateful for it. But since I compiled this news story, I understand we have had, either this past Wednesday or Thursday, we've had an update from Noi's mommy and from her auntie on social media. I also got to shout out to the Matcha Run Club 246 and the Buzzbox Barbados for including this fundraiser, the Noijoy fundraiser, in their fun run yesterday. Well done. This is very, 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 very chill. That's what we're about here on The Chill. That has been our Eye on the Community. Of course, if you want any additional information on anything you heard here in our Eye on the Community, we are going to leave it here on the bottom, well, not on the bottom, below, because my producer is going to get me for that. We're going to leave it below in the description. Stay with us here on The Chill.